Hey y'all, welcome to Suppers and Soirees, where we talk about hosting for connection and not perfection. I am Michelle Mize, your host for today's podcast and the founder of Sun Cookery. I'm so excited today to have a guest on that is a great friend, an amazing professional in the real estate space in Charleston. And today's podcast is going to take a little bit of a fun twist. So whether you're a real estate agent or maybe you're house hunting, you're going to want to listen to everything that Janon shares with us today, because she knows how to host and make your new home or potential new home as welcoming as you want it to be. And we're just going to have a lot of fun. So Janon, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a guest today.
I'm so excited to do this with you. I've been wanting to podcast, and here I am.
Oh, well, Janon does tons of podcasts and shows already, and
find YouTube thing happening.
Find Janon. Yeah, we need to give all the tags and how to find her down in the liner notes after the show. We'll get to all of that. Okay. So I've told you a little bit about Janon, how I know her, and that we're great friends. But actually, Janon, can you tell everyone listening all about yourself? Okay.
Cool. Well, my name is Janon German. I'm originally from Mount Pleasant, which is a suburb of Charleston. Lived here pretty much my whole life, aside from some time where I spent down at Walt Disney World. So hospitality is kind of in my blood. I've done it for many years, and it is perfect because now I'm a realtor. And I get to host and welcome people into this beautiful area of Charleston. I loved growing up here, and I know that tons of people are going to love living here as well. So it just makes my job as a realtor super easy.
And you're so good at it.
Thank you.
You're so good at it. When I first met Janon, just your spirit and you just have a welcoming nature.
Thank you.
And I think that's like one of the great things about those, what we call those natural hosts. You know, so many people really, they get in their own way because they think they've got to be all of this and that. But really, what makes a great host is very much what you embody. It's just, you are you. You share who you are. Yeah, this is what you get. You do you. And
I love meeting people and hearing other people's stories about their background and what they're into. And it just makes life more interesting if we learn about each other.
Yeah, I think that's why we connected.
Yeah, that's why.
All right, so thanks for coming. All right, thanks for that overview. Let's jump into our P's and C's, which this is the part of our podcast where we ask, we're trying to get a picture of you as a host at home.
Okay.
So I'm going to go through the elements of when you host. So like invites, music, all that, food and beverage. And you tell us in each of those categories, whether you fall into more of the perfectionist part of that element, or more, you're more like, I'm just about the connection. You're not going to see me fussing over that. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's start with the invite, right? You got to get an invite out. You've decided I'm hosting, I'm going to have some people over. Are you a perfectionist or more about connection when it comes to the invite? What does an invite from Janon look like?
Well, an invite from Janon, I'm kind of a little bit of a perfectionist. Like I like to have everything, it's not an experience. So before you even come, I want you to know what you're getting. So usually I'm a whiz with Canva. So I will go onto Canva, create something cute, and either email it out. If I have time, maybe I'll hand deliver, but I take time with making sure that that invitation sets the tone.
Love that. Sets the tone. Did everybody hear that? Sets the tone. See, I love that. Okay, so you're a perfectionist. I think great. This is again why I like you so much. We're both perfectionists. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so same question. Put on your realtor hat. Okay, so you have to host open houses.
All the time.
You have to do showings. Right?
All the time.
And I know you do open houses probably for other local agents, right? Where you show a property to all of your network, but also you just open it up. So you're hosting. How do you invite for something like that?
Okay. So
are you are you more of a perfectionist or
I'm still a perfectionist there too, because it's important to get the message out. There's no point in having an open house if nobody knows that the house is open. So I spend a lot of time. So instead of an invitation, I may create a flyer and post them at different restaurants and places where people gather. I may also do a video invitation, put it out on my social media so that people know where to find me and what to expect. They're coming to a 4-bedroom home or a quaint cottage. So I want that information to be out there, and that sets the tone for them to come in and check things out.
Yeah. And you're probably highlighting the key components of the house, or teasing it maybe.
Just little teasers. It's just to make people want more, and you make them want to come and enjoy.
Yeah, create that curiosity. Okay. All right. So now back to your hosting at home hat.
Okay.
Where are we? I would say next thing in the the lineup is probably like the menu, the food and beverage. Well, let's talk about menu.
Okay.
All right. I get it. You're probably just first tell me. I'm sorry. We've got our B2C hat on. We've got
we're talking about.
Well, no, we've got our hosting at home.
Oh,
hat.
at home. Sorry. At home. Oh,
I'm being a terrible host right now.
No.
We got two hats to wear.
Two hats.
Wearing two hats.
Fun.
You are hosting at home.
I'm hosting at home.
You have to think about the menu. Are you more of a perfectionist or just about connection?
Once again, I think I'm more of a perfectionist. Okay. I really think about the menu. I love to cook. I don't often get to cook with my busy schedule. So if I'm hosting, I'm thinking ahead. Who are my guests? What can I serve? What's neat and out there? I scroll through Pinterest maybe to get something that's different. I look around in my pantry to see what I have and just kind of curate a menu that is interesting and exciting and fun for me, and definitely hope that my guests will enjoy it.
Okay, now beat it. Let's put your business hat on. You're a realtor. You got a lot going on. Is there really a menu when you're hosting in the work environment? Yeah. And if so, where do you fall there?
So where I fall there, all of my open houses they're events. They're an experience. So again, I love the connection of hosting and open houses because that's really truly how I feel when I'm doing an open house. So I will think about, again, the space. We don't want to create any stains or have any messes. So I'm very thoughtful about what I bring. Sometimes I may have, of course, water. I'll have little snacks, little simple snacks, like some crackers or something like that. Candy, just things that will, when you're here, you want to look around and maybe you need something to, cool
get your endorphins up.
Yeah, you're seeing a beautiful home here, and that's a part of the experience. We want you to come in, feel comfortable, to look around, and if you need anything, we've got some things here for you.
I love it. That's a great point. It's a great point whether you're hosting at home or hosting for, in real estate. Yeah. Right, is thinking about the stain component of things.
Oh, that's so
like big. Even if you have if you had a brand new home and you invited people in, you might not be doing like a pasta, a walk around with meatballs kind of a thing.
Right, you really have to think about what your guests are going to experience, and you want to protect the homeowner's home.
Yep.
I'm selling homes and I want it to be as pristine and as nice as possible, but I also want you to come in and see yourself in the space.
Yeah.
So that's important too.
Okay. All right. So now let's put your host at home hat back on.
Okay.
Okay. So you just talked about you love to be in the kitchen. So when it comes to food and beverage, the menu, you're going all the way in.
Thinking about it.
Okay. So then let's talk about entertainment.
Okay.
When you're hosting at home for friends and family, where are you on the entertainment scale of perfectionism versus just I'm going to throw this out in the wind and we'll just connect? Where are you there?
Well, I try to put a little thought into that, but not as much. I want people to connect and I want people to have a really good time. And the focus is more on the people that are there. So I know there's been some dinner parties that I've been to where there's games or, just conversation starters. I may do a little of that, but really I just want people to come in. I'm going to have a nice atmosphere and we're going to talk. We're going to have a good time. You're going to meet somebody new, or you're going to be around family where we're all having a great time and can talk about memories and experiences. And so once people get together, it's going to happen.
Yeah. So you're about connection. Just let the connection happen organically. And how about when you put your real estate hat back on, do you feel the need to, like maybe when you're showing a house, like maybe having some kind of more formal approach to to the quote unquote entertainment, right? Like
Yeah.
how you're doing a walkthrough, or do you plan
Right.
that, or you just let that happen?
No, because everybody's different. And so I try to make sure that any experience with me is going to be personalized. So if you're coming in to see a home, one family versus another could be very different in their styles, could be very different in their demeanor. So I'm going to give people what they need at that time.
Yeah.
So if someone's coming in to tour home and they're a little nervous, I want them to feel comfortable, and I'm not going to come out with a song and a dance like living in the house. I'm going to kind of tone it down and mirror what their needs are at that time.
Okay, so this is what makes you a concierge realtor, and I
Yeah.
really, really want to express this to everyone listening, because whether you're hosting in, like, for example, in the real estate industry, or whether you're hosting at home, I love that, you're not like looking to AI to like tell you how this is going to run.
No.
You're like being human about it, and you're being realistic, and you're
Thoughtful.
letting it happen organically, and you're being thoughtful about the people that are walking in the door. And it sounds like to me you're just giving people space to like
Be
connect on their own,
themselves.
be themselves, let them.
That's important.
Yeah, that's so important.
So you have to be authentic in everything that you do, and that's just who I am. I can be a chameleon. I can be razzle dazzle when I need to be, but I can also be whatever you need when you need it.
Right. Well, no, and we're kind of like digressing for a minute,
Yeah.
but I think it's important to like talk about this for a little bit, like separately, because outside of our P's and C's,
Yeah.
because I think that is one of the things that holds people back in hosting, like hosting at home, maybe even professionally, when you have to host people for a meeting or host someone at a coffee meeting. It doesn't matter. You are hosting professionally. People don't realize that, and they forget the art of that. They forget to just like, the way to really deepen that relationship and connect with someone is you got to show up as yourself
Be
first
yourself,
and be
yeah.
confident. And I think that holds people back. I think they really get stuck on understanding the role of themselves, the host. They think they have to do the razzle, or they have to
Right.
put
You
on a
don't
show,
have to.
right?
No.
And I think that's just an important like sidebar life lesson.
Sidebar life
People
lesson.
do you do
Just
you.
be authentic.
Yes,
That's
yes,
important.
yes.
Go a lot further when you're
I
authentic.
know. Thanks for letting me go on that
Yeah.
tangent. Okay, so we've cut. Okay, this is a fun one.
Okay,
this
what's
one is
fun?
very fun. Back to your hosting at home hat.
Okay.
Okay, hosting at home hat, not showing a house, hosting at home for friends.
Okay.
Do you give anybody a behind the scenes tour of the whole house? Like, are you running around scrambling and shoving things in drawers and closing closet doors? Will you show them your house if they want to see your house?
I mean, if they really want to see it that bad, they're going to see the authentic self for sure. But I feel like it takes away from everybody else that's there. So I want to make sure that I'm available for everybody. And so if someone wants to see, go.
You'll just say,
take a
go
look,
about your business.
Go
Mosey
on,
around.
see what you see, and
Okay.
ask questions. But for me to take time away from the event, I wouldn't want to do that.
Okay. But if they ask, you'll say,
Yeah,
sure, go
sure.
poke around.
Go around.
Okay. Okay. So now real estate hat is on.
We'll see.
You're hosting someone at a home, an open house.
At an open house. Yeah.
Are you doing a run through of every nook and cranny in a house before you open the doors for a showing or an open house? Like, to what level of detail do you typically have to go to, like, you know what I
Get
mean?
them interested. So usually, like I said, the invitation part, like we talked about, that's most important. So I may do a couple videos. I may do a live while I'm in the home. But if someone comes into the open house, I want them to envision themselves in the space. And it's kind of hard to do that with your real estate agent hovering over your shoulder, laminate flooring. You kind of have to let people have space to be their authentic selves within the home. So I do a very nice warm greeting. I introduce the snacks if they want some, make sure they have my business card, and then I kind of let them do them. They kind of walk
about.
around,
Okay.
check things out. I let them know I'm here if you have any questions. And then at the end, we talk more. We can go into specifics if they have any questions. But I really think it's important for people to see themselves in their space. And I'm not a salesperson. I am presenting a beautiful home that I hope you enjoy and I hope that you'll love, because I want it to be your home.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Yeah. I love that. Okay. Well, I think we covered all the P's and C's. So thanks for. Oh no! I forgot a really important one. And this will be great for both hosting at home and hosting in real estate. Hosting at home. Where are you in the decor spectrum? Like your tabletop or maybe whatever your setup is. Oh, great! We broke her. You're not going to say perfection.
I probably a little bit, because I want it to be an experience. So I will think a little bit about the decor. I will think a little bit about the theme. So if I need, like one thing that I love doing every Mother's Day, my sister and I, we host a Mother's Day brunch at our house. It started off as just breakfast for mom one year, and it expanded. So now it went from just, throw something together for mom to a full out experience.
Oh, right.
So we're ordering backdrops. We're ordering flowers. We've got the, custom boards. So it just depends. So it could be either or. Okay. If it's just a weeknight and I'm having friends over, it's just friends are over.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so you're not
when I'm really hosting, I go kind of overboard.
Oh, that's fun. That's such a nice tradition to start with your mom. I love that.
Was
or
really
for
nice.
your mom.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Expanded because all the moms don't want to.
Yeah. Okay, so now put your real estate hat on.
Real estate hat.
Right? So decor in this case might fall under like staging or soft staging.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Where are you?
So soft staging is important just to kind of, again, put people in the frame of mind of how they can use the space, how they can see themselves in the space. Shameless plug for Sun Cookery.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll take it.
I use Sun Cookery. The pineapples, what's the new box?
The porches and patios
Porches
box.
and patios box. That one has been amazing. Again, not just an outdoor space. This is outdoor living space. And so I will sometimes put the pineapple vases out there with the colorful napkins, and that just, it draws your eye to that space. And then you're thinking, oh, you just added square footage to your home by now being able to use your porch or your patio as living space.
Yeah.
So that's where soft staging comes in handy. And again, it just kind of directs people, gives them a frame of reference for what this space can be used for.
This is great. I appreciate you going, wearing both hats while we go through this. I hope the listeners understand that in your space, in your industry, especially in the real estate, you genuinely are a host every day. Every day. And I love that you shared with us how you think, how thoughtful you are, and that's exactly why you are Charleston's Concierge Realtor. You're thoughtful. You're
intentional about it.
You're so intentional, and we didn't even really tap into, but a whole part of your name, Charleston's Concierge Realtor, is that you bring Charleston to these people, right? To people that are moving into the area. You really do so much of your own legwork and host them. You the entire city, the entire area. I want people to fall in love and feel welcomed here. Yeah. This is your new home. This is your new community, and that's what I want people to leave with and understand. Yeah, and that makes places feel like home.
It does.
They feel at home, and that's great. Well, thanks for playing our game with us. I think people have a great picture of you. You're pretty much a perfectionist down the line.
I really try. Doesn't always end up that way. Maybe not, but I'm okay with it.
No, I love it. Okay, so you talked about a few things that I think would be really fun for people to hear. Okay. You're hosting an annual gathering for your mom. You and your sister collaborate. And you've started this tradition of hosting Mom on Mother's Day. So tell me more. Tell me about the first one. Tell us how it got started.
So the first one, my sister and I, this is my younger sister, we kind of were scrambling at the last minute on a gift. What do you get the woman that has everything? She's the queen of our family. She is Milady. This is her nickname for herself. She's coined that she's Milady, and she wants to be treated as a queen. And so we oblige her. And it started off as just a little fancy breakfast for my mom for Mother's Day. We had some champagne. We had, I made some little cute pinwheels. We set the table really nicely with the tall candlesticks, and we lit the candles, and it was supposed to be just for her. Well, there was so much food, and we made cute little parfaits, and there was so much going on that she invited her sister. And so my Aunt Lisa comes over. And so now the two of them are the princesses for the day. And, so I guess that feeling that they had, they raved about it. And of course the pictures were really nice. Again, I was thinking about intentionally what would look really pretty for my mom. We had fresh flowers, the whole nine. So they felt good. They shared with all their friends. And the next year, it was bigger. We had more moms.
You're hosting everybody's
moms. And I love that, something that started off as just something simple, a little gift that we were going to do for my mom. It's now something that my friends and family kind of look forward to. So it's grown. I think we're up to 14 people for this year.
Wow.
And like I said, we were like, well, if we're going to have 14 people, let's make it a thing. Let's go all out. And so we are ordering invitations. We've got a flower backdrop coming from Amazon. We have a theme this year. It's going to be orange and pinks. And I think it will complement all the moms. Yeah, so there's a lot more thought going into it this year. Haven't figured out our menus just yet, but every year I try to make something like from scratch. Well, everything's usually from scratch. And there's healthy items. There's something from scratch. There's seafood's usually involved. My family really loves seafood. We're right here by the coast. So, maybe this year we'll do shrimp and grits or there's something. And I think it'll be really special.
Of course it will. So, all right, I got to back up a little bit. So you're doing this for your mom, just you and your sister, and then Auntie comes over. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now you have 14 people coming.
14 people.
Are you collaborating in a co-hosted way? Are other people pitching in, or are you still taking the lead on as the primary host? Because you and I have had the pleasure of co-hosting an event together. It can be helpful.
It can be.
It can also be chaos when there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So how are you maneuvering or navigating this with 14 people?
So with 14 people, the premise is still the same. We want it to be really pretty. We want them to leave with a good experience. Everybody raves about my cooking, which again I don't do often. But
so when are you going to cook for me?
I'm gonna. You can't Mother's different.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Sidebar.
15.
Want my invite?
You're coming. So I handle the things that I'm strongest in, and my sister, she's really strong in other areas. She is very direct at directing.
That's a very good way of saying that.
She's very direct at directing, and I'm more of the fluid. Even though I like control, I'm a little bit more fluid when it comes to certain things. I have a little touch of ADHD, so I can be all over the place very quickly. Yes, exactly. So she's good at keeping things organized, keeping us on task, monitoring our budget, making sure that things go the right way, and then I can focus on the things that I'm strong at, which is the aesthetics and the food and the experience. So that's kind of how we...
Okay, so you're tag teaming. You and your sister are still co-hosting. But as far as the other people that have been invited, you're not... They just show up. You're not asking for a contribution. No. So they are all other moms. This isn't like moms and daughters.
No, this is other moms.
Okay.
Well, we're usually the only daughters that are there, so
just these moms come in. Now, why are their kids hosting them?
I don't know.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. But it's my special way of saying thank you to all the special women in my life. Same for my sister, and we want them to all feel like princesses for the day. Like we have champagne and mimosas, and we really make it a good time so that they don't have to think about it. Like sometimes you want that little bit of an escape away from the day-to-day, and sometimes a party can do that for you.
Yeah. No, I think hosting mom is such a nice way to just, and maybe in my case, I would like to be hosted and then leave me alone.
Oh, see, and that's usually what happens.
I mean, go ahead, make me a meal, bring it to me, and then you can go.
That's kind of how it is for my mom. Like, she'll have maybe one mimosa, and that usually makes her sleepy, and So she gets the nap.
What is in that mimosa?
Oh, these are good mimosas. Little triple sec, a little vodka, drop of orange juice, and we're there. One year we did blood orange.
I love blood orange. And the color's
fantastic. So we just, do some interesting things to make it different and unique and special.
What inspired you this year to do the oranges and the pinks? Was there anything that inspired you, or you just were like, I like this color palette?
I think we wanted to break away from the softer colors. I think there's a lot of springing colors and pinks, and we think of mom, we think of like soft, and this year we wanted to spice it up, make it bold, and it's got to be interesting for me if I'm going to do it. So I just thought something different, and we were scrolling. Sometimes we go on Pinterest for ideas, and we saw that there was a beautiful tablescape, and those were the colors, and
it just spoke to you.
And it just spoke to us, and we were like, we could do that. Yeah,
I love that. So. Those are like my favorite colors together. Oh, yeah. I mean, genuinely. And I don't like pink or orange, but if I see that combo together,
it's nice.
It's very nice.
It's very tropical. It's very
I think that's what
fun. Yeah. And that's the vibe we're going for this year.
Well, I hope everyone listening or watching us on YouTube is really, because Mother's Day is around the corner. Yeah. And first of all, let's just talk about how special moms are in general.
They are.
Okay. They are special. They're important. But what a great idea. So even if you started that tradition now, like it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey, even as a mom or as a daughter, whatever, like just to call out on in that kind of a way is really just a day about her.
Yeah.
And I think the default for people today is take her to a restaurant. And you know what the thing is that's what my family did for a while, and it was more of a drag for them. It was like and I was like, this isn't fun. What would be fun is just one year I was like, can you just make me breakfast in bed? If you brought me breakfast and made my iced tea for me in the morning, because that's my thing, just bring it to me. Yeah. Like, no one has to get dressed up. You don't have to stress out. No one has to act like they gotta have a perfect photo. Like, it's the littlest things
make you feel special.
It does. And that's really, I think, what hosting your mom could do for just
for Mother's Day.
Yes, it's such
any day.
Yeah, well, exactly. Every day.
Every day.
Host your mom every day, people.
Every day. Give her some mimosas.
So one last question on the Mother's Day, because it's evolved.
It's grown.
It's evolved. It's grown in size. Are you doing it still at the same space in your home? Okay, so how have you navigated that?
Okay.
Are you bringing in tables? Do you have the spaces? Does it flow in different rooms? How do you set it up?
Well, we're having some strong conversations about how we want this to happen.
You mean direct?
Direct direction happening. So I have this vision. It's grown, it's expanded. There's more people. We just had our deck redone. And the theme is kind of a garden party. So I kind of want some outdoor space to be used. Okay. Whether that's for seating or maybe just the drinks outside, something. I want the backdrop. We're going to order this 8-foot backdrop. The backdrop will be outside. Hopefully it'll be nice and sunny and they can take pictures. And that'll be an area where people can kind of flow from our kitchen, dining room to the outside deck. And then just kind of come mingle around. My sister didn't want the outside used at all.
She doesn't.
She didn't. Like at first, I thought we could put the whole table outside, but it's sunny. There's no cover. Okay. It's outside. It's bugs. So
okay,
we're having those conversations.
Okay, well, all reasonable things to think through. That's why we co-host. We have different ideas. Okay,
but I think the 14 people, even our space is not huge. That just means more connection. We're cozier together, 100%. And we're going to have a good time, all of us, 15, 16 of us.
Of course
14 guests and their hosts.
You're not going to give them a time zone window? You four can come at this time zone.
I know. It's a good idea. But no, I want them all to be together.
Yeah.
They all feed off of each other and their moms.
Of course. Okay, so can I give an idea for a song? Well, you know the song.
Your favorite? Mr. Anthony Hamilton? That Queen. Has to be the...
That needs to
be the song.
Yes, the mom's walk-in song. For anyone that's watching and listening,
look up Anthony Hamilton.
Queen. You're my queen. It is the best
That
song.
is. And it goes, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you just think Sun Cookery anytime.
Yes. The Sun Cookery. No, I know.
That's Michelle Mize at Sun Cookery.
Mm-hmm.
Janon German, Charleston's Concierge Realtor.
No, this is perfect.
Oh, this is awesome. Okay. I love that we just unplugged your ideas on Mother's Day. Like that was awesome and perfect timing. And that you just shared that little nugget of what you and your sister have been doing. And we love hearing about stories that evolve like that. That is so fun when it becomes a tradition.
It's a tradition.
You know?
Can't get away from it.
Yeah.
They were asking since October.
They're looking forward to it.
Mother's Day brunch.
That is amazing. I love that. Thanks for sharing that story with us. Well, gosh. Okay. Well, thank you. Is there anything else you want to say about hosting at home, hosting as a real estate agent for our real estate agents that are out there listening? Anything at all that, when you think of hosting at home and you say it a lot, your heart is in your home, and
it is.
I love that. So, anything else you want to say about that? Your feelings?
Well, I just feel that authenticity is important, and your home is your home, and people love you for you. So open it up to as many people as you can. As a realtor, one of the things that I think about when I'm giving people tours of homes and I'm selling property, I'm thinking about the life that's going to be lived in that home. And you want to live it to the fullest. So if that means pizza party on Friday, do it. If that is formal dinners on Sunday, do that too. But there's a whole lot of life that you can live in your home, and hosting is a great way to experience that with the people that you love.
Yeah, I love that.
Choked up.
I know. We're gonna start crying now.
I know. We're not gonna have the
Janon and I are always
segment.
either crying or laughing. I'm surprised we even got this far on the podcast.
I know. We
did a lot of laughing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we always wrap up asking about Sunday suppers. And the irony in that is that you and I
We hosted a Sunday supper.
We hosted a Sunday supper together in a business capacity, but I will tell you, reflecting back on that, it was really more of a personal
It did feel
get together, and I mean this in a way. So Janon and I, just to give people an understanding of what this was, is Janon and I met, we became friends, we connected because my business, I was reaching out to realtors, and I thought I really want it. We just met, we connected, without getting into all the story. That's another podcast. It is.
Another day.
But we were trying to think of ways to present our brands out into the Charleston space. But when I reflect back on that, what it really became was a platform for us to build our confidence as business owners.
Definitely did that.
And put ourselves out there at a time when we were both launching something new. And I think the togetherness, the co-hosting component
made it better.
It did, and helped us both go for something. And I know that it didn't, and this really could be its own podcast.
Yeah.
I know that it wasn't everything that maybe we originally envisioned.
Yeah.
But when I look back on it now, I realized how much I needed to do something like that with someone I trusted my heart and soul with.
Aww.
And we did it in my home here.
Was perfect.
And you had such an amazing group of women that showed up and showed up for you and came for you. I had some amazing people that showed up for me.
People.
Everyone commingled.
Yeah. It was like
it was-
ideal.
Yeah. And
Host scenario.
yeah, and we really put ourselves out there. I don't think people understand. We had to give a speech at the beginning, and I look back and I remember thinking, well, this is all the stuff we missed, or we could have done this better. And I
would-have.
Yeah, and I overanalyzed it, but it's funny. A year later, because we did this a year ago.
Yeah, it's
a year later, I'm just grateful that we hosted. We hosted. And I'm the host. I love to host. But it was so different because it was for our business, and it was kind of scary. So I just think we should. I just wanted to mention that because as a co-host and collaborating with you on that, that's what that meant to me.
Right.
Now
and
that I can reflect on
that opened my eyes as well, because I had so much fun and I really enjoyed doing that. And I'm all about keeping things interesting and doing things my own way, and not following the crowd. It makes me want to do that more often. or find ways to
Yeah.
host as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because they learn about me, they learn about my business, and that was the start.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, good. We're going to do some more now that
Yeah.
I'm here full time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do wrap up
Okay.
with a question about suppers, Sunday suppers.
Okay.
Okay. So do you have and it doesn't have to land on Sunday. It doesn't even have to be called a Sunday supper, but do you have a weekly commitment to your family or friends to do something along the lines of a Sunday supper?
No, I wish we did. I feel like when I was younger, Sunday was the day that we made sure that we had like a really nice meal.
Yeah.
Throughout the week, we would have meals, but they would just be like, okay, throw this together and your stomach is full. Okay, great. And on to the next. But Sunday, a little bit more intention put into it. Traditionally, we would go to church every Sunday. And so I just remember my dad cooking either the night before so that when we would come home from church, dinner would be ready and it would be a whole thing. Now, Easter just passed. And so we did that this Easter and it brought back that tradition. So we're going to have to keep doing that.
Good, good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. Awesome. Well, I want everyone to, at Sun Cookery, we want to inspire everyone to come up with some weekly get together. It can be you, however you want it to be. So anyway, thank you, Janon, so much. We're going to wrap up this edition of Suppers and Soirees. And I'm Michelle Mize, the founder of Sun Cookery and your host. I want to thank Janon German, the Charleston's Concierge Realtor in Charleston, South Carolina. So if you know anyone that's relocating, moving to the area, selling a home in the area, she is your woman to call if you want the concierge service and someone that sells homes and finds homes with a lot of heart. I just love her to death. We will have all this information on our liner notes and our podcast information. You can find us on all the podcast channels. Follow Sun Cookery. What's your Instagram handle, Janon?
It's Janon German _ Realtor. So
Okay.
Janon German _ Realtor.
Yep. Find her, follow her. And I think that's a wrap for us. Thanks for joining us on Suppers and Soirees, where we host for connection and not perfection. Bye, y'all.